one of the best ways to recite Qur'an in Ramadan is to go to the books of tafsir, the explanation of Qur'an. Because tilawah in Qur'an, recitation, is of three types. The tilawah, that is to beautify the reading itself, the recitation itself, to beautify it by your linguistic abilities, by your beauty of your voice. This is one. The second is the tilawah of understanding. You should understand it in the best way. So you go to the tafsir books, like Tafsir al-Tabari, Tafsir ibn Kathir, Tafsir al-Qurtubi, and so on. The third is the tilawah by action. الذين يتلون القرآن حق تلاوته. حق تلاوته. That when you recite, you act upon what you recite, as narrated by the companions رضي الله عنهم. ما كنا نتجاوز 10 آيات حتى نتعلم ما فيها من العلم والعمل. We would not exceed 10 verses of Quran until we make sure that we know all what it includes of knowledge and action, so that they act upon it. So this is very important, because as the Prophet ﷺ said, رُبَّ قَارِئٍ لِلْقُرْآنِ وَالْقُرْآنُ يَلْعَنُهُ. Someone might be a reciter of Quran, and yet Quran is cursing him. Why? Because he is contradicting it. He is putting a big, thing over his head. The verse which says, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. It is indeed by the remembrance of Allah, the hearts will reach tranquility and submission. And yet, he is sitting, cheating the Muslims, backbiting, lying, doing all kinds of corruption. You see, this is a big insult, you see. So, therefore, as the Prophet ﷺ said in the other hadith, Al-Qur'an حُجَّةٌ لَكَ أَوْ عَلَيْكَ. Qur'an is either a proof for you, that's if you act upon it, or a proof against you on the day of judgment. Oh my Lord, he recited me, he knew me, and he did not respect me, he did not act upon me. So this is something which should be borne in mind. What is the recitation of Quran? Now, some of the tafsirs in English are beautiful, alhamdulillah. Tafsir of the great scholar Muhsin Khan. It is dependent upon Tafsir ibn Kathir, which is a very popular tafsir. Allama Muhsin Khan, he has Sahih al-Bukhari, he has Tafsir of Quran, very good. You have other books of tafsir, you have to be very careful, like the Tafsir of Abdullah Yusuf Ali, who was Baha'i or something like that, and his commentary is full of deviations in Aqidah actually. So one has to be very careful about it. But alhamdulillah, the tafsir that is available, which is by Muhsin Khan, is very good. Maybe there are other tafsirs. Maybe there are translations of Tafsir ibn Kathir. Maybe there are others. I don't know. Yes. Alhamdulillah, we have a substitute. We have Shaykh Muhsin Khan's great tafsir. That's enough. We don't need to go to Abdullah Yusuf Ali. His language is good, strong, but the comments are full with poison. So one has to stay away from it. Actually, I made a report for Shaykh bin Baz, rahimahullah, 25 years ago. I put in that report about 35 deviations in Aqidah, in the faith itself. amongst them some deviations which are kufr, great kufr. I told Sheikh bin Baz that all this is in the commentary that you are distributing here in Saudi Arabia. And he said, Jazakallah khair, as the brother said, but we have assigned a committee already because we had received complaints. And inshallah, as soon as we find out, we will abandon it. And that's what they did, but they did not abandon it totally first. They dropped a lot of the commentaries. Then I wrote another report for Sheikh bin Baz, and I said, yeah, although you have dropped a lot of his commentaries, the mistakes are still there. So, alhamdulillah, they abandoned it altogether. And they started producing Muhsin Khan's translation and distributing Muhsin Khan's translation. Now.